I had to leave home urgently. I checked the aquarium again a month later. Something was wrong. Well, why did the fish die? The aquarium is a self-sustaining ecosystem. This shouldn't have happened. It took me a while to understand what happened in these 30 days. I finally found out where I went wrong. Life is like a box of chocolates. That happened to me too. You're not always prepared for what comes next in life. The aquarium is a self-sustaining ecosystem, so it doesn't require a filter, water changes, or plant fertilizers. But the fish in the aquarium need to be fed. When I left home in a hurry, I installed an automatic fish feeder. I didn't worry about anything else. I didn't know exactly how long I would be gone. Initially, I thought it would be around 10 days. To monitor the aquarium, but also the house, I used a baby surveillance camera. But it didn't help me. All I could see was that the light on the aquarium had come on. 30 days have passed. At first glance, I was impressed to see how big the plants had grown. But I also noticed that about 2 gallons of water had evaporated. But I noticed one more thing. Did you notice it too? None of the 25 fish can be seen. I could see the snails and shrimp. They look fine. But the fact that I can't see any fish worries me. Because the substrate, along with the plants, act as a filter in this ecosystem, I immediately looked at the substrate to see if there was still life. I was relieved to see that there was life in the substrate, so the ecosystem was not dying. I removed the automatic fish feeder. But I noticed something suspicious. In this automatic fish feeder, when used for a long time, the food gets wet and becomes as shown. This probably happened because of the humidity. In the aquarium when I left, there was still some Moina macrocopa that the fish could feed on, but they don't reproduce fast enough to feed 25 fish daily. I watched the aquarium for an hour, but I couldn't see any fish in the aquarium. This is what the aquarium looked like before. Being very tired, I left everything and went to bed. I don't know if this has happened to you too, but even though I was tired, I couldn't sleep. So I started searching on my phone about fish, how long they can live without being fed. There were too many variables to know for sure. I didn't know how long the automatic fish feeder worked before the food got wet, and how long it took the fish to finish eating the live food in the aquarium. I may never know this, but the automatic fish feeder definitely failed. So I looked to see if there were other types of automatic fish feeders that have a different system and the food can't get wet. And I found the perfect one. It is superior in every way. The next day, I decided to trim some of the plants because they were blocking the light from reaching the plants below. I noticed a lot of hungry snails. I didn't expect this species to dominate the aquarium, nor to be so visible. I expected them to stay more in the substrate, but I was wrong. Anyway, this snail, although many don't know, eats green hair algae. Since this algae is no longer present in this ecosystem and the number of these snails is very large, I suspect they ate all this algae. Also now, I noticed them eating the leaves of the plants. When I was cutting the plants, I noticed that some fish survived, but they didn't look very good. The same day, a few hours later, I received it. I'm very curious about how it looks and how it works, although I wanted it because its design prevents moisture from getting into the fish food. I'm currently very curious about how the camera of this device looks and how it films. It took me 1 minute to assemble it and 2 minutes to install the app on my phone. The app is compatible with both iOS and Android phones. The feeder has a camera that can be placed on the aquarium, so I can watch my aquarium from anywhere in the world. Wow! And now I can see live on my phone what's happening in my aquarium. This is a nice bonus, but I wanted this device because it is a fish feeder, where the food will no longer get wet, and the fish in the aquarium will not starve. The app allows many settings and remote control of the feeder. I think I gave the fish too much food. This is what 6 grams of food looks like in a 12-gallon tank. However, the food brought out all the fish that were hiding. It's a good opportunity to take a census. This red fish is a celestial pearl danio. Of the 12 I had before, I can only see 4 now. And what I really regret is that they are all males. A few times I have found fry of this fish, but they did not survive. Most likely the adults ate them. Being fewer fish, the fry fish would have had a better chance of survival, especially since now the moss plant has grown and the young fish could have hidden there. And one of them is sick. You can see that his colors are faded, but he also has a white spot on his body. I couldn't count the other fish. There should be 14 in total, but they tend to hide well. Sometimes I don't see them for weeks, so I can't say how many are left. I find it interesting that I didn't find any dead fish in the aquarium. This means that the snails and shrimp ate all the dead fish. And the worms in the substrate have sensed the food and are coming out for the food. Overfeeding your fish is much worse than underfeeding them, but this fish feeder allows you to set the amount of food. So I quickly switched to the mode with less food and tested. I didn't expect this fish feeder to fail. When you buy the cheap and no-name one, you can expect the unexpected. In my case, this led to the death of at least 8 fish in this aquarium. They are some fish that I have become attached to over time, that I have had since the beginning of this project. These fish have adapted to live in an aquarium without a filter and without water changes, but they died of hunger, choosing to buy an unsuitable product. When so many fish die in an aquarium without a filter and without water changes, there is a huge danger that the entire ecosystem will die. In this fish feeder from Hygger, the food cannot get wet, and in the future my fish will be safe. Plus, it comes with a bonus. A camera with which you can see your fish in the aquarium from wherever you are in the world. I trust the products of this brand. That's why I'm going to leave you a link where you can buy this fish feeder. I have a question. The plants grew very big and healthy in the 30 days. Is it possible that the plants had more nutrients, like those resulting from the death of the fish? The dead fish were eaten by snails and shrimps. But their digestive system is very simple, so they could not absorb all the nutrients from the food. Most of the nutrients were eliminated through the intestinal tract, which became food for the plants. In another project, which I have already published, I showed that 10 snails produced an enormous amount of poop in 30 days. So how much poop can only 200 snails produce? And how many nutrients are there? Instead of goodbye, I recommend you